Hello everyone, so today we are solving this problem, set matrix zeros. So this is one of the very famous problem, and so what is happening is given a m cross n integer matrix. So if n element is 0, set its entire row and column to 0. This is what we have to do. This is something like this. So for example, this is our matrix. So see here, there is a 1 0. So entire row of this zeroth and entire column of this zeroth cell should be 0. Okay, so what we have to do basically is, like, if when we are encountering a 0 here, this also, this every one should be replaced with a 0 in that row as well as in that column. That we have to do, right? So there are two ways. Either one way is like we can create a copy of the same size and then we can check and replace, but we are not supposed to do with the extra space. So we will do this in the in place, means the same matrix we would be using to solve this problem. So what we will do is, our approach would be here that whenever we are encountering a 0, so in this example we have just a simple example, right? But there could be different kind of scenario, multiple zeros in the first cell itself, or 0 could be anywhere. So we have to do that solution. So how would we have to smartly store this information. So what we can do, I'm directly going to the in place approach. So what would be our approach here is, it would be, so in our approach there would be two paths. Okay, so in first step what we will do is, in first step we will traverse through this entire matrix and we will find where we found the 0 and will store the coordinates of it. Okay, in terms of we will store them in first row and first column. So we will take this example. So let's say in first pass we are traversing through this entire array. So when we will traverse through it, we are traversing starting from 0 here. So we found here this is a 0. So what is the row is 1 and column also 1. So what we will do is, we will go to column 1 and row 1 and we will replace this one. So here what we will do, here we will store 0 because we found a 0. So this is a first row, right? So that is why I am storing in first row. Similarly in the column also, here we have to replace this guy. We will replace it and we will put here also a 0, right? Now we will again go through it and we found that everywhere only 1 0 we have occurred. So we have stored here the column information, the row information is stored at here and column information is stored here. This is our first step. Now in second step what we will do, in second step we will again traverse through this array, but this time we will traverse starting from the this row and this column, because first row and first column we have already used to store the 0 information, that where all coordinates where 0 was occurred, right? So this these first row and first column is reserved for that part only. So what we will do is, now we will start from I equal to 1 till n, or you can say m, whatever is the row numbers, and j equal to also from 1 till, let's say, m, right? Now for this we are going through this entire matrix, and wherever we are finding that, for if we will use a if condition. Okay, so we are encountering all the ij, right? Everywhere we have ij cell. So what we will do is, for these ij cell we will check whether in the 0th row and jth column, or 0th column and jth row, if there is a 0 value, then we will set that value. So for example, when we will traverse from here, we will find here this is 0 already, right? So we will come to here, this is 1, and what is the coordinate here? I equal to here the row is 1 and j. Okay, so I equal to 1 and j equal to 2. Now what we will do is, we will check in the first row. So how we will do? Let's say we are calling it, its name is matrix mat. So we will check that if mat of 0 and 2, okay, mat of 0 and 2, so this would be our in this 0th and 2, is there a 0? So we will check here. So mat 0 2, is it 0? No, there is no 0, so we will not make it 0. But when we will check, so either the row or the column, so we will check for mat of this row is 1, right? 1, and the column would be 0. Is there a 0 there? So we will check it. So mat 1 and 0th column. So see here this row. So is it 1? Yes. See here, this is a 0. So if any one of these condition, either 0th and that column, or the row and the 0th column, if any one of them is 0, then we have to replace this as well as 0. So what we will do here, we will remove this and replace this value as 0, right? So we are done till here. Now we are coming to this row. So here we will again encounter a 1 here, right? So we will check for this as well. So what is the coordinate? Coordinate is 1 and 1. So is there at 0 1? Check at 0 1 what is there. So at 0 1 this is 0 already, so this condition would be true. So here also we will replace this guy and we will make it 0, right? So this also would be replaced as 0. Now we will come to this coordinate. What is the coordinate here? The coordinate here is 2 and 2. So 0 and 0 2. If you look at 0 2, is it 0? No, 0 2 is not 0. And 2 0, is it 0? No, even the 2 0 is not 0, so we will not do. So now what we are doing, you can check here. Now we are done with the solution, right? You can clearly see here the entire row is becoming 0 now, and the entire column also becoming 0. So this is one of the favorite case. Now we have to touch some boundary cases as well. Okay, so guys, we are taking one more example. Suppose this is our matrix. Okay, now in first pass what we do is we will check that where all we have a 0 ij. So we will go here, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, but here this is 0, right? So if mat of ij equal to 0, then we are storing it like mat I0 equal to 0, which is already there, right? This cell itself, mat ij is 0, this is already, and mat 0j means the j is 0, right? So mat 0 0 also should become 0 according to this approach. So what will happen, 0 0 is this guy, right? So we will make this also 0. Now we are done with this because there is no more 0. Now what will happen, there is one issue here. Now when we will come into the pass 2, in pass 2 what we are doing, whenever we are encountering a 0, right, we are replacing the entire row and columns. So whoever is a matching cell is there, we are replacing them, correct? So what will happen in this case, if we store like this, we will find that this entire row also should become 0, and this also should become 0, but that is wrong, right? So we have to take care when column is 0, right? Like in this case, this j is actually 0 where we have found 0. So if we cannot store in this case, so we have to take care of this boundary case. So what we will do here is, instead of doing in this way for 0th column, we will take care, we will create a one integer variable. Okay, how we would do? So let's say we will create a integer called int call. Okay, this int call equal to, we will initially assign 1. Okay, so int call equal to 1. This is initially I have assigned. I will tell you why 1. So this integer value column equal to 1 I have assigned. Now what we will do is, whenever we are encountering this situation, okay, and in this situation if mat ij is equal to 0 and j equal to 0, okay, so see here we found this cell as 0 and j is the column is equal to 0. So in that case what we will do is, we want to take an information whenever a j is 0 and this condition is 0, what we will do, we will set this column, this value, okay, we will make this column equal to 0. Okay, just for our information for the second pass, that how would we interpret. Okay, so now in this case what will happen, as soon as I found mat_ij equal to 0, I will check whether this j is 0. So in case if this j is 0, like in this case it is actually j is 0, I will set this column equal to 0. Nothing much. So I am storing this information. Now when I will come to pass 2, so in this case what we are doing, we are not making this guy as 0. We are keeping this guy as it is. Okay, like this. Only this information we have already set. Okay, this is already 0, and 4 because this is 0. So what we will do, if this is not 0, if j was not 0, then we would go as it is. Okay, if j was not equal to 0, then we would have gone as it is. Otherwise we are setting this column equal to 0, and then we would be using this information. So when we will come to the pass 2, when we will traverse through this entire array, we will find that when we will come here, right, once we are done with the first row and first column storage, we will start from this remaining array, right? So we will start, let's say we are starting from here. Okay, so this coordinate is 1 and 1. So we will check that, hey, is there 0 1 is 0? Yes. Or 1 0 is 0. So see here, 1 0 is basically 0 here. So we will make this entire array as this row as 0. Correct? Now we will come here. Okay, so this coordinate is 2 1, right? 2 0. The coordinate is 2 0. So we will not do anything because we have stored 1 here. But next time we will make a one more column, one more if condition, that if column equal to 0. So if column equal to 0, this is giving us indication that there is something where column was found 0, like in this case. So if column found 0, we have to make that entire column as 0, right? So if this column equal to 0, make this 0th column 0 everywhere. So we will go for here, this is 0, this is 0, and we will make this also 0. So we have to make just one curiousness here to keep take care of this 0th column values, right? So now we will be done in this way. See here, this entire row and entire row and column we have made the 0. So let me show you my code, which will make a better sense of whatever I have discussed here. So this is my code. You can see here, initially what I am doing is I am getting the row and column length in this matrix, and see here I have just created a column variable with initial value equal to 1. Now see here in first pass that we are doing, this is our first pass I was discussing. So see here, whenever we are encountering matrix ij equal to 0, we are storing it in the 0th column and 0th row. Now see here, we are making matrix I0 equal to 0, and see here we are checking that if j is not 0 yet. Okay, we found this is equal to 0, but if j is not 0, then we are storing as it is, matrix 0 j equal to 0. Otherwise what we are doing, if this j is 0, then what we are doing, we are setting this column, this we initially started with 1, we are making this column equal to 0, so that we will have an information that column equal to 0 was also occurred, right? So we will use, so first pass is done here. Okay, now we are going to this second pass. Okay, we are starting from 1, right, and column 1 and row also 1, because for 0th row and 0th column we have used to store the information where all coordinates we found the 0. Now see here in this pass, we are checking that wherever we are finding that if either the row or the column has 0, then we are setting that value equal to 0, as simple. Now you can see here, we are checking this, if matrix 0 0 is equal to 0, means there could be a possibility that original value itself is 0, or we would have found the row equal to 0 in that way, right? So if we are checking here that if matrix 0 0 is 0, then we are setting this entire row to equal to 0. See here, right? So we are starting from 0 until n. we are making everything in that row equal to 0, right? And now here we are checking that if by any chance our column value has changed, means if our column value which we initially put 1, if it is 0, this is giving us an indication that that means 0th column has to become entirely 0. So see here we are making the 0th column equal to 0, right? So for the same case, like we took this example right here, where we set our column equal to 0. We started it with 1, but we found here, right? So this is the 0th column, that is why this column is 0. So we are setting that same here. So these conditions if we take care, then it would be work fine for all the scenarios. So let me execute this code. Let me try to submit it. So we are not taking any extra space, we are doing it in 2 pass, and it is submitted, and it is 100% faster. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and if you guys have any concern, please make a comment over there. Thank you.